December 27, 1942. High above the jungles of New Guinea, Lieutenant Dick Bong grips the throttle of a strange, twin-tailed aircraft. Below him, Japanese bombers head toward Allied positions. In seconds, he dives, 400, 420, 440 miles per hour, faster than any Japanese fighter could dream of flying. One bomber explodes, a Zero disintegrates, and before the rest can react, Bong is gone, climbing back into the thin blue. Years later, Japanese ace Saburo Sakai would write, "The P-38 Lightning destroyed the morale of the Zero fighter pilot." This is the story of the aircraft that shattered Japanese air superiority in the Pacific, the Lockheed P-38 Lightning. When war began in 1941, Japan's Mitsubishi Zero ruled the skies. It was light, graceful, and nearly unbeatable in a turning fight. American pilots flying slower, heavier aircraft had one goal: survive. They invented desperate tactics like the thatch weave, or dove once and ran, knowing that a dogfight meant death. The United States needed something revolutionary. That revolution began in 1937 with a young engineer named Clarence Kelly Johnson. The U.S. Army wanted a fighter that could reach 20,000 feet in 6 minutes and fly 360 miles per hour. Johnson saw the answer in not one engine, but two. His design broke every rule: twin booms, a central cockpit, counter-rotating propellers, turbo-supercharged engines, and all guns mounted in the nose. The result was speed, power, and range no fighter had ever matched. In 1939, the prototype P-38 streaked across America at record speed, then crashed just before landing. But it had proven its point. The Lightning worked. When it reached the Pacific in late 1942, everything changed. Over Guadalcanal, the first P-38s met the Zero on equal terms, and won. The Lightning could climb higher, dive faster, and strike harder than anything Japan had. American pilots learned a new way to fight: boom and zoom. They would patrol miles above their targets, dive at terrifying speed, fire a short burst from their nose guns, and climb away before the enemy could respond. No dogfighting, no spiraling duels, just precision and power. Japanese pilots trained for elegant aerial duels suddenly faced an enemy that didn't play by their rules. The fork-tailed devil, as they called it, was almost untouchable. Then came the mission that made history. April 18, 1943. U.S. codebreakers intercepted a Japanese message revealing the flight plan of Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, the mastermind of Pearl Harbor. His route was long, over open ocean, and out of reach for most fighters, but not for the P-38. 18 Lightnings took off from Guadalcanal, flying 400 miles at wave-top height to avoid radar. Their fuel would barely last the trip. Timing had to be perfect. At exactly the right moment, they spotted 2 Japanese bombers escorted by Zero fighters. One carried Yamamoto. 4 P-38s broke off, climbed, and dove straight into the formation. Minutes later, both bombers were down. Yamamoto was dead. Only 1 Lightning was lost. Operation Vengeance proved something extraordinary. American intelligence, skill, and technology could strike anywhere, and the P-38 Lightning was the weapon that made it possible. After Yamamoto's death, the Lightning became legend. P-38 squadrons swept across the Pacific, escorting bombers, hunting enemy fighters, and dominating the air at altitudes the Zero couldn't reach. By 1944, Japan's veteran aces were gone, replaced by barely trained pilots who couldn't match American speed, firepower, or tactics. One captured Japanese pilot summed it up. When they wanted to fight, they fought. When they wanted to leave, they left. We were just targets. The hunter had become the hunted. The P-38 didn't just win battles, it changed aviation. It proved that range and altitude mattered more than maneuverability, that technology and doctrine could overcome experience and tradition. Its design inspired generations of aircraft to come. The idea of concentrated nose guns, turbocharging, and high-speed energy fighting became the foundation of modern air combat. Kelly Johnson would go on to found Lockheed's Skunk Works, designing the U-2, the SR-71 Blackbird, and the F-117 stealth fighter. The revolutionary thinking that began with the Lightning reshaped the future of flight. By the war's end, P-38 pilots had destroyed more than 1,800 Japanese aircraft, more than any other American fighter in the Pacific. America's top ace, Richard Bong, scored all 40 of his victories in a Lightning, and though newer fighters would replace it, none captured the same mythic power. Even today, when a P-38 roars across an airshow sky, its twin engines echo the moment air combat changed forever. It wasn't just an airplane, it was a revolution of metal and courage. The fork-tailed devil, the Lightning, born in a Burbank basement, perfected over the Pacific, legendary forever.